This is a cute little country home in which there's concerns about elevated humidity and a musty odor. The HVAC system is in good shape. A dehumidifier is added, but it runs all the time during the summer, and that's because there's too much moisture coming into this home, and it's causing a separation of the paneling. This type of buckling is caused because of high humidity, and I suspect there may be attic air that's running down the wall, and so all of these gaps should be sealed so that the warm moist air from the attic above, for which there are two, that hot air is not able to seep into the wall cavities. There is a strong odor in the attic, most likely organic from past rodents. There are two returns in the home. It'd be nice if this was a filter return grill. There is extensive debris inside the return duct, and from the basement perspective I can see that it is not sealed, so it's pulling in air from the basement. The filters are past due in regards to being cleaned. There is debris, moisture, and dead insects inside the air ducts. All this is creating a musty odor. So the original system outside looks great. With the exception of the filter, it is, but the attached ductwork is a problem. Behind the air handler there is some water intrusion, a bunch of muck and wood and mold growth of different colors. This is also contributing to poor air quality inside the home. Here we can see mold growth of different colors on the subfloor. Going back further into the secondary basement, notice in a puddle of water is a lot of old wood. This wood is growing different types of mold also. All of this mold and moisture is contributing poor air quality to the home. Condensation forms on the ducts, which makes it very wet in the basement area, wet enough that mold and bacteria is able to grow on different surfaces, and this mold and bacteria then gets inside the ductwork because it's not sealed, and then it is spread throughout the home. So ideally this basement area would be clean and dry without any mold. That can be done by removing all the debris and then putting in a liner system. In the main crawl space there is no insulation on the subfloor or the air ducts, which makes this extremely energy inefficient. There are also signs of extensive cave cricket defecation on the subfloor, as well as spiders and mold. So all this is contributing to poor indoor air quality. Here at this corner of the home, it would be advantageous if rainwater was diverted around the home so it doesn't show up in the crawl space. Here we have a secondary storage area, and you can see condensation forming on the uninsulated air ducts, as well as different types of mold that are on the subfloor. I've got black, green, yellow, white. Gets pretty massive. And then we've got a lot of wood and debris in here sitting in water. That's also going to be creating mold. And then the air ducts are not sealed either on the return side. You've got gaps in numerous places, so we're essentially just drawing in this polluted air right into the home. And then these ducts are not insulated, so it makes for an inefficient system. Recommend that this area be cleaned up and turned into a closed crawl space. Looks like we may need a sump pump in here. Got some signs of water coming in. Either a lot of gravel down here or a sump pump to keep this dry, and then line the crawl space with an insulation blanket and seal all the ductwork after it's been cleaned. My biggest concern is really all of this mold growth that's in here. This is not good. Here we have our main crawl space area in which there's no insulation on the floor. Fine dust. Air ducts are not insulated or sealed. Mold growth on the subfloor. So the air from here is able to get into the house directly through the ductwork as well as the plumbing and electrical holes. Recommend this be turned into a closed crawl space. I'm assuming that when it rains, we get a lot of water coming down the roof and collecting in these areas. And then this water that wants to collect here is showing up in the basement area. So it'd be advantageous to have a natural drain in here so that the water coming off the roof and just the straight vertical fall is not swamping this area and then arising in the basement.